Welcome to Super Max Z, where today I'll be talking about my theory on how the kaioken works. Let's begin. I believe that the kaioken works just like the ultimate form or mystic gohon form. I believe that the kaioken is removing one's potential to a certain point of the user's input, or how much the user is pushing their body. Let me give an example that will explain it. During the Saiyan saga, Goku had a power level of 9,000, which I'll say is 9,001, and then used a kaioken times 2, which is giving him a power level of 18,002. So this power level is something Goku could have achieved. It's a part of Goku's potential, but the kaioken is inefficiently removing it. If Goku had used the mystic form, if he had it, he would have had a bigger power level, because the mystic form, or which one I'll call the ultimate Gohan form, I think mystic form will work better here. So the mystic form would have removed his potential efficiently, while the kaioken removes it up to a certain point and inefficiently, unlike the mystic form's efficiency. So Goku's potential is removed inefficiently. That's why his body feels pain, and his body sometimes doesn't have the strength to use the kaioken, because the kaioken is trying to forcefully removing Goku's potential in his base quickly and inefficiently. So that's how I believe the kaioken works. If I'm to give more examples on my belief on the work of the kaioken, let's say there's a character who we won't give a name, we'll just call him character. So this character has a power level of 10,000 and his potential is very high. So now, if that person or that character was to use the ultimate form, they would have an efficient way where their power level is increased to the potential they have. But by using the kaioken, they can choose up to which point to unlock their potential, but it will be inefficient because it's causing a more fight or flight response in their body, which is removing that potential. So if you was to use a kaioken times 2, it will give him, of course, a power level of 20,000, because that's double his power level. So that's a part of his potential, but it's inefficiently removed, so it can harm the body if his body isn't ready. So now most of you are saying, okay, that makes sense, or that you entirely disagree. But both of you, of whoever you may side with, either disagreeing or agreeing, will ask, then if it's inefficiently removing the potential, how is it that in the Namek saga it's shown that Goku was able to master the kaioken up to 2 to 5, and even after coming from healing, he was able to use a kaioken times 10 without that much of a drain, and 20 was where the line started to draw. Now let me explain. Yes, it inefficiently removes potential, but the body can be acclimatized. After a lot of training, the body can be acclimatized to the way the kaioken removes the potential in that way. So that's why you can say that it does that. So you can master the kaioken and how it removes your potential inefficiently. You can master multipliers to the time where you make them now efficient, so they can be turned efficient into a more efficient technique after a lot of practice. Now here's where also there might be another controversial thing. I don't think it just removes the potential of the base form. As we see with the kaioken times 20 with Super Saiyan Blue, I believe that it removes the potential of also transformations, the potential. But because it's a transformation, it makes it very much more inefficient with its removal here. But what I mean by inefficient this whole time isn't that it doesn't remove the full potential up to the multiplier chosen. What I mean is that it's inefficiently making the body weak, not in power level, but in how natural things are going. That's how the immune system was weakened. I forgot to explain that in the other video because I was planning to make this one. So the inefficiency, I mean, it's forcefully removing, so the body isn't going to work well with that, but it can be trained to acclimatize, like I said. So for transformations, it's more inefficient because the person is already transformed, so their potential is higher and more harder, unusual for the kaioken technique. So that's how I believe the kaioken works. It's removing potential inefficiently, but can be trained to remove it efficiently for certain multipliers. That was my video on how the kaioken works. I think I said that before. So like, share, and subscribe, and come again to watch another video from Super Max Z. This is Super Max Z heading out.